Hey y'all, it's Danielle here. Thanks for joining me on another cleaning video. In today's video, I am going to be tidying up the house. I'm going to be going into almost every room of the house and picking up, getting things off the floor, vacuuming, doing a lot of dishes, and doing a little bit of deep clean in certain areas like the vent hood of the microwave. It was absolutely disgusting. Cleaning the sink, and of course doing laundry. So on this day, this was kind of a typical day. It was a Monday, I'm pretty sure, and I usually have a list of things that I want to get done, one of which is always going to be a load of laundry. I do have a schedule of the type of laundry that I want to do on each day, and on this day it was my girls' laundry, and sometimes if I have a little bit of extra time, I'll throw in an extra load and then fold it the following day. Of course, the kitchen always needs attention because it's the most lived in space in our house, honestly. We use it often, we cook all of our meals, and so yeah, it gets messy really quick and really easily. So I spent some time washing a lot of dishes, making sure all of the countertops were clear and ready for the after school rush of the day. On this day, I was pretty focused on making sure that most rooms of the house were clean, and so it was super hard to not get distracted with like the clutter drawer that we have, but I did my best to stay focused, and I think I did finish almost everything that I want to complete on this day. I oftentimes have a bad habit of just having all the lights off in the house, and so when I start recording, I forget to turn the light on. So in most of my videos, you're gonna see the light switch on, which is so random. But anyways, it's kind of a pet peeve of mine that I realized after I have already started recording that the light is off and it's kind of dark. I'm going to go ahead and address the elephant in the room that someone has noticed in my last video, my decluttering video, which it made me giggle so hard because it took so long for somebody to notice it and to say something about it, but I'm so happy that you did. The commenter 13 Moons Over Mayhem, I don't know your real name, but that is your username. You said something about it, and so I promised that I would give the story, and so here it is. When me and my husband first got married, this was almost 12 years ago, he had these Crocs that he purchased, and this was before Crocs were cool. I want it to be documented that my husband was wearing Crocs before it was trendy and before all the young kids were wearing them. But anyways, so my husband had these house shoes that were Crocs, so it had a fleece lining on the inside. And it just so happened that I could not find my slippers that day. And so I decided to go ahead and put his shoes on, his Crocs. And somehow I ended up wearing his Crocs the next day and the next day. And I do think it had something to do with the fur, fleece, whatever lining on the inside of the Crocs that was so cozy and so comfortable. And I think I did eventually find my slippers, but I just stuck to wearing his. And so yes, I did eventually find my slippers, but somehow I ended up gravitating to always wearing his because they were much more comfortable. It felt like it supported my feet better. And no, it did not bother me that his Crocs were about 4 to 5 sizes too big for me. I just ended up wearing it all the time. And so eventually for Christmas, he actually purchased another pair of Crocs, but they were for me. They were his same size shoe, but it was for me. And it just became a running joke. And every time I wore them and we would have a new visitor over at our house and I would wear the Crocs, they would say something about it like, hey, you know, you have your husband's shoes on. And I'm like, no, these are mine. There's a story to it. And so it's just always been a funny little thing that has been a conversation starter whenever we have someone in our home for the first time, and they're still comfortable to me. And I don't know, maybe it's a sense of nostalgia, but I love wearing these things. These Crocs, I think these are the original. Yeah, these are the original Crocs that I've had. So I've had these for 12 years. They've held up so well. And he's had his, actually I think he's purchased a couple more since then because he's just harder on his shoes than I am. But yeah, that's the story behind why I wear Crocs that are about 4 sizes too big for me. And I don't think I'll ever stop. It's just a sweet little memory, and it's super funny to me, obviously. But anyways, I would love to hear if you all have a funny little story on something that you just have that you started using and you cannot let go of it, that it just brings back a fond memory or something that just makes you laugh. I try to vacuum the couch about once a week, and it is crazy the amount of crumbs that accumulate in the crevices and the cracks of this couch. We eat popcorn over on the couch. We let the kids eat popcorn over there, but for the most part, most of our meals are eaten at the table. So it's just strange that there's so many crumbs. That's why I do it every week, and I probably should do it more, but there's a long list of other things to do. I have gotten into the habit of finally making up my bed every single day. It is refreshing, and it makes me feel like I have officially started my day. There have been, quite a few years where I did not make up my bed every day, but that was typically when I just had a baby or I was pregnant, and it was several years, probably 6 years in a row, where I was either pregnant or had a new baby. So now I'm in this new season of life where I want to make sure that all the beds are made every day. This is the boys' room, and again, this is a whole house tidy. So I will not be picking up all of their clothes and hangers out of the floor. I just wanted to make sure their beds were made. This is one of those things that when you clean your house, you have limitations. You cannot do everything, and I am still coming to grips with that, but I'm trying to get into a practice of saying I'm only going to do these certain items on my to-do list, and after that, if I have more time, then I'll touch on, picking up things out of the floor in their room, because I also want to instill responsibility into our kids. So hopefully when they came home that day, I honestly cannot remember, but I'm sure I told them, pick up all the clothes off your floor, hangers, and tidy up your room for yourself. Mommy cannot do everything. So that's why you'll probably see in certain parts of the house, I am touching on specific things, but I am not doing everything because I'm not Superwoman. I just am not, although I would like to be, I'm not. So there's a limited amount of things that I can do, and it honestly makes me feel better at the end of the day when I give myself a short list and I completed that short list and then maybe did a couple extra things at the end of the day. This is a side note. I have yet to find a good stainless steel cleaner or cleaner to wipe down the refrigerator without leaving streaks. So if you have any products that you love, please let me know, and I want to try them out. This microwave and vent hood situation was haunting me for weeks. 4 weeks, and I finally got around to it today. It, like, when you touch on the top of the microwave and touch that cabinet door, it was greasy, and I mean my stomach just turned. So I finally got it addressed. I went in with a Q-tip or several Q-tips and wiped in the crevices to get all that built up grease in there. And then I moved on to wiping down the cabinet door. You'll see it was so disgusting. I use paper towels because I just do not want to ruin any of the microfiber towels that we have with the grease. For good measure, I went over the cabinet doors with a sponge and dish soap, and then I wiped it again with a paper towel just to make sure that everything was clean. The garbage can, as you probably know, is another one of those items that get dirty so quickly. And so I try to clean it at least once a week. And when I say clean it, I mean wipe it down, wipe all the crevices on the lid and on the side of the trash can, because it just accumulates so fast. There's nothing like a good wipe down in the oven. I spent some time really cleaning it. I think I had ran a self-cleaning cycle maybe the day before, so it can go ahead and help my job be a bit easier on this day. And so I just used a regular sponge, dish soap, and water, and that was it. Gave it a good scrub and everything came off pretty well and pretty easy. I was struggling here. I could not figure out how to get this rack on. It took me a few times. This is the second load of the girls' laundry that I did, and I made sure to put all of that up. So I washed it, dried it, put it on hangers, and put it away. That is the number one goal whenever I'm trying to do one specific load of laundry that day. This was the home stretch. I wanted to make sure that the dishwasher was empty so it would be ready for all the dinner dishes that would come and the kids' lunch boxes. And then I also made sure that I cleaned the sink because I think it was long overdue for the kitchen sink to be cleaned. As a treat and a reward to myself for finishing almost everything, if not everything on the list, I made myself a little matcha latte, just matcha tea with coconut milk and homemade simple syrup. I actually usually drink this in the morning time, but I skipped it because I jumped right into cleaning. So I took this to go before I left to go pick up the kids, and that was it. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you made it this far, I so appreciate it, and I will see you on the next one. Bye.